Welcome to Eastern Sierra Now News. Real quickly, we had received some feedback from our listeners wanting to learn more about myself and Eastern Sierra Now and how we've come to work with KIBS. Who is this Jesse guy and what is Eastern Sierra Now? Well, before we get into the news tonight, I wanted to take just a minute to introduce myself properly. My name is Jesse Steele. I grew up in Big Pine, graduated from Big Pine, and my roots in Inyo County go back generations. In fact, the Big Pine High School Gymnasium is named after my grandfather, Bob Harvey. My parents owned Mountain High Video in Bishop when I was a kid, and I guess that's where the media bug first bit me. I started my first television show on a local access station in Bishop when I was 15 years old, and that's where I really began learning how to tell stories. From there, I went to college. I worked in production for KSRW under Bennett Kessler and Bob Todd, and that's where I learned the news business. I went back to school and spent some time in Los Angeles chasing those big city Mary Tyler Moore style dreams as an actor and production guy in video and audio. About 15 years ago, I moved back to Bishop, and since then I've taught film and video production for 5 years at Bishop Union High School, worked again in local radio production at KSRW, performed in a number of local stage productions with Playhouse 395, Sierra Repertory Theater, and Sierra Classic Theater in Mammoth, and worked on film productions throughout my life. I'm also honored to serve as the Inyo County Film Commissioner, helping productions bring commercials, movies, and creative projects to this magnificent place we all call home. Around 2020, I started Eastern Sierra Now, and it's been going strong ever since. I love this community. I'm a third-generation Inyo County resident, and I truly consider it an honor to help keep the people of Inyo and Mono counties informed. I've been a lifelong fan of KIBS, so being able to deliver the news on this station, well, it's honestly a dream come true. I want to thank everyone at KIBS for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to helping Eastern Sierra Now and KIBS grow together while honoring the incredible standard this station has set over the years. Eastern Sierra Now was started to help to bring local news, entertainment, and community information and digital storytelling into the modern age. Well, since we began, we've worked hard to stay at the forefront of social media, digital news production, video coverage, and local advertising here in the Eastern Sierra. Our goal has always been simple: make sure the important stories, events, people, businesses, organizations, and voices of Inyo and Mono counties don't get missed. Whether it's breaking news, community updates, candidate interviews, local events, video features, or help with your local business reaching people, Eastern Sierra Now is here to serve this region and help keep our communities connected. So since KIBS is one of those long-standing news and entertainment pillars of the Eastern Sierra and has long been the bar to strive for, and Eastern Sierra Now is pushing into new digital frontiers in media, well, it seems only clear that Eastern Sierra Now and KIBS are a match made in airwave heaven. So here we are. Please feel free to reach out to info@easternsierranow.com if you have any more questions. We are stoked to hear from you. And lastly, I have an amazing black lab named Odie and 9 little baby chicks that live in the same room I record in. So from time to time, you may hear some chirping in the background. Okay, that's enough about me. Hopefully that helps now. Let's get to the news. Inyo County Public Health reports that influenza activity has declined to low levels across the county. Based on current data, Inyo County Health Officer Dr. Richardson, in collaboration with local healthcare partners, has declared the 2025-26 influenza season officially concluded. Public Health extends its appreciation to healthcare providers, community partners, and residents for their efforts in reducing the spread of influenza this season. Continued vigilance and community cooperation remain essential to protecting public health, as other respiratory viruses continue to circulate the community, of course. COVID-19 remains present year-round and may continue into the summer months. Inyo County Public Health encourages residents to continue practicing everyday preventative measures, including avoiding close contact with individuals who are ill, staying home when sick, washing hands frequently with soap and water, or using alcohol-based hand sanitizer, and routinely cleaning frequently touched and shared surfaces. Inyo County Public Health will continue to monitor respiratory illness activity and provide updates as needed. CAL FIRE has issued a proclamation suspending burn permits and open burning in Inyo and Mono counties. With the recent early fire activity, higher temperatures, and lower fuel moistures, the extreme threat of wildfire impacting life, property, or natural resources is measurable. The privileges of burning by permit and other uses of open fire have been suspended in all state responsibility area lands in San Bernardino, Inyo, and Mono counties. Campfires within organized campgrounds or on private property that are otherwise permitted will be allowed if the campfire is maintained to prevent its spread to the woodland and other private property. State rangers or other authorized agents may issue restricted temporary burning permits whenever it can be shown that burning or use of open fire is essential for reasons of public health, safety, and welfare. The order went into effect at 8 a.m. on May 1st and remains in effect until formally terminated. Unit Chief Shane Littlefield, who issued the order, is calling on residents to maintain defensible space, clear vegetation, and stay alert to fire safety guidance. By taking proactive steps, we can reduce risk and strengthen our collective preparedness. And in the midst of fire conditions, Southern California Edison is reaching out to Inyo and Mono customers with wildfire safety awareness about public safety power shutoffs. A public safety power shutoff, or PSP, is when an electric utility temporarily shuts off power to reduce the risk of a wildfire caused by utility equipment. Under dangerous fire weather conditions, which include strong winds, dry vegetation, and low humidity, a fire could spread rapidly, posing a significant safety risk. PSPS events reduce the risk of winds causing debris or trees to come in contact with utility equipment and starting a fire. To learn about SCE's wildfire mitigation plan and help you stay informed and prepared, SCE is hosting a live discussion at the Inyo Consolidated Office Building in Bishop on Thursday, May 14th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. There will also be a virtual live stream. Customers will learn about meteorology and fire science, SCE's PSPS policy and decision-making process, wildfire mitigation plans, and grid hardening strategies, how to prepare for outages and enhance emergency preparedness, and customer programs and resources. Learn about live streams, sign up for alerts, see the outage map, find resources, and more at sce.com. Feeling a little drained? Maybe that mammoth altitude hit harder than your morning espresso. Whether you're recovering from a big adventure or, let's be honest, a big night out, Peak IV Therapy in Mammoth Lakes has your back and your hydration levels. They offer IV drips, vitamin boosts, and treatment designed to help you bounce back faster than your group chat after a powder day. Plus, it's not just for recovery. Peak IV can help with energy, immunity, altitude sickness, or even that midweek, I'm running on fumes feeling. Think of it as your mammoth recharge station, because let's face it, the mountains don't wait for anyone. Peak IV Therapy, feeling better faster. Book your drip, get your boost, and get back to doing what you came here for, living your peak life. Northern Inyo Healthcare District invites community members to a free Healthy Lifestyle Talk on advanced knee replacement care Tuesday, May 5th at 6 p.m. in the main lobby of Northern Inyo Hospital. The presentation will be led by orthopedic surgeon Michael Karch, MD of Mammoth Orthopedic Institute. Dr. Karch will explain the Jiffy Knee Protocol, a muscle and tendon sparing approach to knee replacement surgery. He will also talk about how this advanced care is available locally at Northern Inyo Hospital. Dr. Karch is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon who specializes in hip and knee replacement using robotic and computer-guided technology. He is a co-founder of Mammoth Orthopedic Institute and is currently completing advanced studies through the Harvard Business School Analytics Program, Harvard Medical School, and MIT, focusing on machine learning and the future of intelligent, responsible healthcare systems. Dr. Karch has also taken part in humanitarian medical missions around the world and has supported athletes with the United States ski team. Healthy Lifestyle Talks are part of the Northern Inyo Healthcare District's ongoing effort to share trusted health information with the community in a friendly setting. Attendees will have time to learn, listen, and ask questions. The presentation is free and open to the public. Northern Inyo Healthcare District continues to strengthen access to specialty orthopedic services through its collaboration with Mammoth Orthopedic Institute, helping patients stay active and supported close to home. The Los Angeles Department of Water and Power announced the Eastern Sierra snowpack measured 24% of normal, providing key information to prepare for the coming runoff year and plan water deliveries to Los Angeles customers and the Eastern Sierra. Warmer temperatures prompted snowmelt and runoff to begin earlier than usual. However, this year's below normal water supply forecast is still expected to meet close to 40% of LA's annual demand. As the second largest municipal water agency in the country, LADWP is responsible for reliable water management to deliver safe, clean, and affordable water to LA's 4 million residents and businesses while balancing environmental priorities in the Eastern Sierra. Every year, LADWP conducts snow surveys from February to April in 4 Eastern Sierra basins: Cottonwood Canyon, Big Pine Canyon, Rock Creek, and Mammoth Pass. Markers placed at specific locations are regularly checked for snow levels and water content, and the data collected informs runoff estimates for the Los Angeles Aqueduct. A typical runoff season lasts from May to June. In addition to the annual snow surveys, the yearly lake level measurements at Mono Lake provide key data to guide decisions on water exports in the region. The official surface elevation reading of Mono Lake was 6,382.75 feet as of April 1st, 2026. Congressman Kevin Kiley, representative for California's 3rd Congressional District, has announced his co-sponsorship of the Public Lands in Public Hands Act, a bipartisan effort to prevent the sale or transfer of federal public land without congressional approval. Kiley stated his decision came after hearing from constituents throughout the district in California. In a release statement, Kiley said, "As your representative in Congress, one of my key priorities is protecting our public lands. I strongly believe that federal public lands decisions, whether buying or selling, should only be made after substantial input from the local communities most directly impacted. This legislation would enshrine that principle in law." Yosemite National Park has announced there will be no reservation system for summer 2026, with increased visitation anticipated. Planning ahead, traveling during off-peak times, and exploring beyond Yosemite Valley will be key to ensuring a positive experience for both travelers and gateway communities. Entrance fees will still apply at the gates. Visitors are encouraged to purchase their park entrance in advance, either online at recreation.gov or through the recreation.gov app. Purchasing the entrance fee in advance helps everyone move faster through the entrance gate, but make sure you still stop and get a map of the park on your way in. For international visitors, new fees also apply. For non-U.S. residents, the $250 America the Beautiful Pass is valid for 1 vehicle or 4 people, or the $100 single park pass is available. Plan for crowds. April through October is peak season, with Yosemite Valley drawing the most visitors. Explore options for recreation beyond the valley and discover other areas of the park for a more enjoyable and less congested experience. Arrive early or late before 9 a.m. or after 5 p.m. to avoid traffic and congestion, especially on weekends and holiday periods. Consider weekday trips for lower congestion and greater parking availability. And check the park website for real-time conditions, seasonal updates, and trip planning tools. For more information, just visit nps.gov. On Eastern Sierra Now's Just a Minute election coverage program, we sat down with current Superior Court Judge Stephen M. Place, the incumbent for Inyo County Superior Court judge. We asked Judge Place, how do you approach a situation where you've had to reflect on or learn from a difficult decision? Here's what he had to say.
So with regards to difficult decisions, that is basically the job. That is the nature of the job. And when I reflect on difficult decisions, I guess I want to make sure that I was prepared for the court case or the hearing, knowing the facts and the law that applied. I want to make sure that when I look back, I was focused throughout the process because interesting things and unusual things and things you're not expecting happen all the time. You can't prejudge a case. And then looking back, I want to make sure that I was diligent in getting a ruling out in a timely way. So I want to make sure when I reflect on a difficult decision, I've done everything I can to make a good decision. Having said that, I probably leave work every day thinking about what I could do differently, what I could do better. So reflection, I think, also is an understanding that there's always room for improvement.
Okay, now to the roads. New traffic impacts start this week. Oh boy. In Mammoth Lakes on State Route 203 from Meridian Boulevard to Old Mammoth Road, the westbound outside lane and shoulder will close on Wednesday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Also, through Mammoth on US 395 near Mammoth Scenic Loop, just north of State Route 203, the northbound outside lane and shoulder will be closed on Thursday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Several ongoing projects also continue. In Bishop, on the northbound lanes of US 395, the outside lane and shoulder are closed from the Bishop Creek Bridge to Barlow Lane. The southbound shoulder will intermittently close from Tusu Lane to CV Lane. All driveways remain accessible during construction. Bridge work over Bishop Creek will continue through the end of May. Work is scheduled Tuesday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Also in Bishop, work on the northbound side of US 395 will conclude soon. The right turn pocket on East Line Street onto US 395 and the left turn pocket onto US 395 from West Line Street are closed. Access to Willow Street from US 395 is unavailable. On North Sierra Highway, the southbound outside lane and shoulders are closed. Work is scheduled Monday through Friday from 6:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. All traffic projects may create brief delays. Now from sports, Bronco baseball and softball were on the road playing Rosamond on Friday. Varsity softball lost 9-3. Rosamond got first points on the board with a single run in the first, and Bishop followed with a run in the second. Rosamond came back with a run in the third, then scored 5 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, and 1 in the sixth for strong lead. Bishop picked up 2 in the sixth, but they just couldn't equalize. JV Baseball had a runaway 18-4 victory, putting 10 runs on the board in the first inning and another 8 runs in the fourth. Rosamond scored once in the third inning and had 3 runs in the fifth. Varsity Baseball fell short, losing 6-4. Bishop's uncharacteristic fielding had 6 errors, allowing 5 of Rosamond's 6 runs unearned. Hundy Leeson got the start and went 3 innings, allowing 1 earned run on 3 hits with 4 strikeouts and 2 walks. Will Kemp went the final 3 innings with 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Offensively, Bishop only had 5 hits on the day. Hundy Leeson was 2 for 2 with 2 runs batted in, 1 sacrifice fly, and 1 walk. Knox Moffitt was 1 for 2 with 1 walk and 1 run. Ruben Nicholson was 1 for 3. Will Kemp was 1 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. Richie Talavera was 0 for 2 with 1 hit by pitch, 1 walk, and 2 runs. Aiden Frechette had 1 hit by pitch and 1 run. Coming up for the Broncos, golf has a league match at the Bishop Country Club today, starting at 1 p.m., and varsity baseball and varsity softball play Desert at Home today with first pitches at 3:15 p.m. On Wednesday, May 6th, track competes in the HDL Finals at Whitmore in Mammoth with a 2 p.m. start time. And on Friday, May 8th, JV and varsity baseball and varsity softball are on the road to Cal City with first pitches 3:15 p.m. Let's take a look at our local weather. In Mammoth, Restaurant Week continues all week through May 9. The inaugural celebration will offer exclusive specials and unique menu offerings across town. Participating businesses and a map guide can be viewed at visitmammoth.com. On Wednesday, the ribbon cutting for Mammoth Hospital's remodeled family medicine clinic will be celebrated in the clinic lobby from 5 to 6 p.m. Light refreshments will be served, and a student art display will also be unveiled. The event is free, and all are welcome. In Bishop on Thursday, the weekly farm-to-table market presented by Eastern Sierra Farm Fresh returns to United Methodist Church from 4 to 7 p.m. As always, the event is free to everyone and offers produce, local makers, live music, and more. Also, Thursday evening in Bishop, a hedgerow and native plant pollinator workshop will be offered at the Cultural Center Garden next to the Owens Valley Paiute Shoshone Cultural Center from 5 to 7 p.m. The free workshop will focus on sustainable, productive, and pollinator-friendly gardening, and all levels from novice to master gardener are welcome. Crowley Fish Foundation is hosting an outing for Mammoth kids ages 10 to 18 at the Crowley Lake Marina on Saturday from 8 to 11:30 a.m. The event is free, but space is limited, and all participants need a liability release from signed parent or guardian. Contact the foundation for more info. Also, on Saturday morning, Eastern Sierra Land Trust is leading a bird watching excursion at Black Lake Preserve north of Benton from 8 to 11:30 a.m. The trip is free, and binoculars and birding guides will be provided. All birding levels are welcome. The kids are encouraged to attend. And looking ahead to Bishop Union High School's Bronco Athletics, they will be hosting a signing day to recognize college-bound student athletes. The celebration will take place Wednesday, May 13th at 6:30 p.m. in the BUHS auditorium. That's your Eastern Sierra Now news update for today. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you again to KIBS KBOV for welcoming us into the family. We're proud and excited to bring local news to you every weekday at 7 a.m., noon, and 5 p.m. Hey, and remember, if you want Eastern Sierra News any other time of the day, head to easternsierranow.com. Download the Eastern Sierra Now mobile app, follow us on social media, and like and subscribe on YouTube for video, news, interviews, entertainment, and local programs like Just a Minute. I'm Jesse Steele with Eastern Sierra Now. Thanks for spending a little part of your day with us. And remember, around here, the news travels fast, but we're trying to travel just a little bit faster.